What is up, guys? Cody here, and today I have a 2v2 on Napoleon Total War. So this was sent in to me by Fresh Juice, and this is going to be on Grassy Flat. So pretty funny, or it was an intense game, but it was also a pretty funny game as well, because it is kind of a civil war, a mini civil war, and I'll explain why. So Juice, I'm going to call you Juice because Fresh Juice is just going to screw me up. So Juice is going to be in command of the British. Let's go over his army comp real quick. So he has a very elite left flank. You see he's brought some foot guards, Coldstream guard, and then 2 more foot. I believe for this game the rules were no artillery, max 5 lights. He has some 10th Hussars and some Dragoons. Nice cavalry, I love the 10th Hussars. Then he has some 88th foot, 42nd foot, a lot of foot guard. Really capitalizing on how elite Britain's line infantry is. He has some King's German Legion foot, 2 light foot, and then a fencible unit. So he didn't go that big on light infantry. You see, he only brought 2 units of lights. Actually, now that I look at it, it looks like the rules were no artillery and max 2 lights, because his ally also did the exact same thing. So let's go over his army comp, and you see he's brought a lot of upgrades for pretty much all of his troops. So look at this, 3 chevrons for like 5 units. So let's see, he's got some Fusiliers, a lot of Fusiliers actually. He's got some Polish Legion, Swiss Foot, 18th Regiment, and then he's got some Old Guard on the flanks. A smart move there, putting the Old Guard on the flanks. In back, he has some Chasseurs-Cheval, and he brought a General Staff. So the reason why I said this game is pretty funny is because it's like a mini civil war. So we have the British facing the British and the French facing the French, which I find very interesting. Let's take a look at the enemy's army comp. They also went with similar builds, and yeah, the rules are 2 lights. So very interesting. Don't see that too often, but I guess you're trying to go for that realism effect of, you know, how, you know, back in the day, line infantry was a big thing, and lights were just there to skirmish and annoy the enemy. So let's take a look at his army. He's got some 4 foot on the left flank. He's got 5. Oh wow. Okay, so he has, and then he has, let's see, 2 foot on the right flank, and then he's got some King's German Legion, 88th foot. In the back, he's got some Coldstream, good elite troops there. He's got some fencible units. I think they're going to be used as a meat shield. Wow, he's brought 4 fencibles. Very interesting army build. He's also brought some Dragoons. What's this General Staff? And let's take a look at the French player and his army. You see he also went with a ton of chevrons. So starting in the back right, he's got some Chasseurs-Cheval. He's got 2 Old Guard, some Fusiliers, some Swiss Foot, Fusiliers. So very interesting rules, and we'll see how things pick up. So right now the formations are being set, and you see they're working together fairly well right here. They have a little gap, but I'm sure it's going to be fixed very shortly. Yep, there they go. King's German Legion about to fill that gap, so smart move there. Ooh, okay, so we got a daring charge right here by the French player, sending in his Chasseurs-Cheval, trying to charge into these Voltigeurs, but the Voltigeurs did lay stakes, and those stakes are going to actually prevent this cav charge from actually happening. So smart move there by the French player, pulling back his cavalry, making sure he does not take any losses. So right now it is a stalemate. They are just staring at one another across the field. But very, very interesting. Okay, so it looks like the enemy British are actually going to be making the first moves and attacking on Juice's left flank. And he's got some foot guard. He doesn't really have the skill on this left flank to really counter this massive force coming his way. So what he's going to do, he's going to send over some 42nd and 88th foot to hopefully boost the morale. Once again, another stalemate. He has some cavalry ready to attack at any time. But you see the enemy's doing a very good job right now in overpowering one flank. You see how many more units he has over here as to where Juice only has so many. Okay, it looks like there's going to be a light engagement. Alright, let me pause it. I love this. Juice, you're doing an excellent job right here. This is what I love to do. Oh, actually, the unit size is ultra, so it's going to make it even more interesting. So this is what I love to do. I love to send my fencibles or militia kind of straight across. So that's not going to obstruct any of the shots or friendly fire, and it's going to allow my guys to fire and not take many losses. So let's take a look Will these... Yeah, look at that. Working perfectly. Those two light infantry units are going to shoot at this meat shield. Meanwhile, Juice, doing a phenomenal job, barely taking any losses, are going to get some beautiful volleys in on the enemy with very little losses. You see, this unit only lost 4 units, or 4 guys, and that was due to stray volleys, so already at a better start. You see these 2 units are even. So very smart move here. Looks like the enemy's going to try and counter with some foot. Smart move here by Juice, going to pull back his lights and then push up his light infantry to counter this attack. Even the fencibles are firing back, but they're going to break very shortly. Their morale is not good just because of the overwhelming firepower that was sent on that one unit, or fired on that one unit. So that engagement is going to settle down a little bit. They both pulled back somewhat. Over here on the right flank, the French are actually assaulting or pushing towards the enemy French player. But those Voltigeurs did set up a pretty good defensive location, and things are about to pick up very quickly. So the Old Guard are going to be met with a lot of Fusiliers. We're going to see how this goes for the allied French player. And you can see, good job here by the French player, trying to outflank the British right there. Smart move there. And also, these Lightfoot are going to dominate these King's German Legion Lightfoot, just because these guys aren't as experienced as the Lightfoot. You see some stray volleys here, not too many, but a couple stray volleys from those foot. Smart move here by Juice, pulling back his light because of those foot. Little late to do so, but he did manage to pull back in time. Meanwhile, these King's German Legion are just taking a brutal beating right now. Lost over, just about 30 guys. So, looks like on the right flank, French allies actually going to be making the first moves, and it looks like they're going to assault. They might. I think they're going to be in range just a little bit. I guess not. Anyways, in the center, you can see the lights are now going to engage. We got some Voltigeurs on Voltigeurs action. Let's see what those stakes do. And I'm almost positive that these Voltigeurs, the enemy Voltigeurs, are going to dominate these guys, just because they are way more experienced, and they did lay stakes. So we'll see how this goes. Oh no, I missed it. So it looks like a cav charge from the enemy charged into these foot guards that weren't able to form square. They lost over half their force now, so that is not good. That charge is actually going to be continued onward into the 88th foot. Slow charge, but oh, maybe not. Oh no, he's gonna go run down the line. This is what I hate when people do this. Is Juice gonna form square? No, I guess not. He's not paying attention on this side of the battlefield right now. Okay, he's starting to, but this is not good. The enemy's actually going to get some phenomenal shots off, forcing Juice into square and not allowing him to get any return volleys. So these guys are going to get some very, very nice shots in. Looks like a counter charge, actually, a counter charge is going to happen with some Dragoons, but the enemy is prepared and they do form square. Another charge from the enemy, this time into the foot guards. Foot guards not able to form square. So Juice is not looking good on this flank whatsoever. Action has picked up very quickly. You see these 2 units are actually double teaming on this one foot guard unit. This unit got a little bit too ahead of itself. Let's take a look over here on the right flank. Looks like the French player doing a good job here, overwhelming the enemy, but the enemy did form square, and those chasseurs are going to lose quite a few men. Let's take a look over here. Looks like we got some Swiss foot firing on those Voltigeurs. But yeah, a lot of action is happening right now. And the left flank for Juice is just not going well whatsoever. He's actually sending over some more units to try and counter this attack. But as of now, it's just not looking good. Over here, it's not looking that bad. He's triple teaming this one unit, but look at this. He's got some foot guards ready to assault. Oh no, another charge. This is not good. This time into some more foot guard. Not good at all. So Juice is going to be forced to pull back at this point. He really has nothing going for him, and he's just going to pull back. He does have a defensible unit that did come back. We have a light infantry engagement going on right here, but over here his ally, the French ally, is actually doing a really good job in pushing back the French over here, using a what is this? Okay, so he has 2 Old Guard here. That is why he's doing so well. Old Guard can really do a lot of damage if you do not counter it properly. And you can see he's not really sending over many reserves to help this one Fusilier unit, and this unit's just going to get slaughtered. See, the morale's already bad with 108 men. Old Guard are just going to do wonders on this one unit. So yeah. Over here it's looking really good, but over here on the far left flank is not looking too good. So I would have to say things are very even at this point. Got some foot now opening up. Foot on foot action. You can see the King's German Legion really didn't get any shots in, and these stray volleys have killed over 60 guys from this one unit. That is why you always want to stay a little bit further back, but I guess he's just not paying attention. Over here we got some Fusiliers opening up with these foot. Good job over here though. The French player really doing a good job in flanking the enemy right now. And they are pretty heavily upgraded too, so I mean they're going to last for quite some time, but when it comes to Old Guard, you just, it's not gonna go well for you. So it looks like he's not paying much attention on this flank, and these Old Guard are going to get some phenomenal shots off on these Fusiliers. Let's see this volley. Oh, they're reloading at the moment. But those guys are just going to get slaughtered right now. Not really doing much to counter or help that one unit. Over here though, Britain is really doing a good job right here. Actually 2v1ing at the moment. Really mowing down a lot of these Fusiliers. You see the Fusiliers are now in red morale. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it into melee combat with these foot. Oh, they're actually going to countercharge. Going to have a nice little clash there. But they do break instantly, which is a very big shame. Such a shame. So Juice is going to pull back once again. You see he's reformed his position originally from over here back to over here. But the thing is, Juice is going to get outflanked, it looks like. I haven't watched this yet, but he might get outflanked right there. And look at this, the general is dead. So the French general has died. Nice job by this French ally, using his chasseurs to take out the general from the French player. And the morale is going to go very, very bad very quickly. You see guys running at 79 men. We got the Voltigeurs running at 31 men. But over here, these Old Guard from the enemy French players really doing a lot of damage right here and breaking those Fusiliers. So let's take a look. Let's pause it. So a little recap. So on the right flank, you know, it's not looking good for this French player, but the enemy French player is doing a phenomenal job right here and kind of crushing the center. So this is going to leave a big gap in between these two armies. It's going to kind of separate or isolate one another from each other. And over here on the left flank, it's not looking good for G, so he's going to pull back once again right here. But he does have some 42nd foot, or the Black Watch, and they're going to try and hold the line. But his men are fairly depleted at the moment. And I believe there's not much cav, if any cav, left on the battlefield right here, or at least on the left flank. On the right, looks like the enemy French player has reformed his line, and he's going to try and open up on these Old Guard and trying to halt this attack. But we got a cav charge here from allied French player into these Voltigeurs. Excellent charge. This guy should break very quickly. Good charge there. Excuse me, I cannot talk today. But very, very good job flanking around, making sure he does not hit the stakes, and he just slaughtered that one unit. Over here, though, the enemy British player actually seems to have been losing right now, as of now. He's losing a couple units. You can see by the map, lost 3 units, as to where Juice only lost around maybe 2 units. So good job there, but he is definitely getting outflanked. He's going to send over this one foot guard unit to hopefully counter this foot unit, excuse me. But he's actually holding his ground right now, which is really, really good. It looks like the French players are actually going to clash once again, but this time at a much different angle. You can see they've kind of changed their lines a bit. Over here, I have no clue who's winning. It looks like the enemy Swiss foot actually broke the allied Swiss foot. A lot of confusion right here. But it looks as though on the far right flank, the allied French player is victorious in his attack. And his Old Guard still fairly healthy, 87 and 72 men, so they can still do a lot of damage. Look at this, the allied Chasseurs going in for some nice charges, this time on the Old Guard. I don't know if these Old Guard are paying attention to what's happening. I don't think so. Oh no, he is forming squares. Good job there. But the Chasseurs did get a nice volley on this old guard. Oh no. Oh no, look at this. It looks like Juice's center has pretty much collapsed right now. And only the flanks are the only safe areas. Or secure areas. And even those flanks are actually starting to break. So yeah, there goes the 42nd. And it's just going to be a chain reaction. A lot of confusion though in terms of which unit is which. There's just a lot of Brits and French fighting one another. Chasseurs continued their charge into those fencibles. Did not break those fencibles, but it is okay. Okay, so the only units that the French player truly has are pretty much all these units right here. He's got some old guards still in action. Those guys are very healthy. And he does have some Chasseurs Chacheval. So we will see what he does with those. But look at this. Juice's center has just collapsed. There's nothing left. And the enemy... I mean, Juice did a good job in depleting most of the enemy troops, but still, there's still a huge force to be dealt with, and that's going to put a lot of stress on this one French allied player over here. So now we have the Polish Legion against some Swiss foot, but even though the Polish Legion is more elite than the Swiss foot, those chevrons are going to do significant damage to the enemy, or ally. But right now he should be pushing up his old guard and his 18th regiment just because he needs to get those guys into combat as quickly as possible, just because the enemy force is coming over to his location. So it looks like most of Juice's units did come back from routing. He does have a fairly decent size, but a lot of those units are very, very weak. You can see 44 men, 39 men, 57, 44. So a lot of low numbers, but he did actually manage to keep some of his troops alive. It looks like he's going to be reforming right here. You see he's going to move his general back dangerously close to the enemy. Will he make it out in time? They are firing on him. Will he make it out? Oh no. Looks like he will. Okay, that is good. So the French are going to reform now. They do have a very healthy army still. And he still has some light infantry, so that is good. It looks like the enemy, they really don't have many lights left. Looks like only one light infantry unit, but that unit is still very healthy. And you see the British players really sending over pretty much all of his force, really just blocking, or not paying attention to this Juice's force, which I find very interesting because he still has a pretty decent sized force. Don't know why this British player is not paying attention to him, or trying to attack him and finish him off. Meanwhile, the French allied line infantry, or lights, are actually going to engage on these fusiliers of line. He's going to run them back because these line infantry are getting very close. It looks like the Polish Legion might get some volleys off. We'll see. Good shots being exchanged. Okay, it looks like the Polish Legion are just out of range. He's going to push them up now and get them into some action as well. Okay, they're going to push up even more now. Get their battle lines ready, and then... Oh no. Oh no, he's just about to fire. I guess not. I guess he doesn't want to fire. Okay. Got the old guard, enemy old guard pushing up now. There we go. Now the Polish Legion is firing. Good volleys being exchanged. Okay, so that unit's at 80 men, and this unit's at 131, so it's pretty obvious who's going to be the victor in this engagement right here. Meanwhile, on this flank, we got the enemy Chasseurs Chacheval trying to charge in on the old guard. Old guard are prepared, though, and do actually counter that attack right there. Prevent them from doing much damage. Okay, so it looks like the enemy British player is actually going to try and split his force up a little bit to counter the French and the British. You see he's sending a pretty sizable force over here to counter this British force that Juice has still. But look at this, Juice is going to be facing the old guard. One volley from this old guard and pretty much all his line infantry is just going to shatter. But look at this, his ally is going to be helping him out, sending over some fusiliers to hopefully get some nice flanking fire, which he will shortly. But I have no doubt in my mind, one volley from this unit is going to absolutely slaughter one unit at a time. So this unit is going to break very quickly. Yep, there goes that unit. And then here comes the British now. Oh no. Who's charging? Okay, it looks like the King's... Okay, so this unit's going to be charging. Seems as though this unit's out of ammunition. But the French player's doing a really good job and really stretching out his lines to really counter this British force and French force. So the enemy French player's pretty much out of this game. Only a couple units left. Actually, 4 units left. So he still has a sizable force, but nothing too significant. We got the Old Guard now opening up. 89 men. And these Fusiliers at 137. Who's charging? Okay, so it looks like these guys are also out of ammo now. Going for a final charge. I doubt they're gonna make it to these guys. Unless these guys are out of ammunition too. They might be. Oh no. Old Guard charging into some Fusiliers. Not good at all for those Fusiliers, but the morale does go up surprisingly. I think just because he does have some surrounding units to help him out. Okay, so the engagement once more between Juice and his enemy is now engaging one another. Juice actually charging in his general, very daring move here. But it looks like the general, only 2 guys survive, just his bodyguard and his general. Who knows, they might die. That's going to be horrible for the morale. Well, the morale's already pretty bad, but it could make it a lot worse. Oh no! The general is dead for Juice. That is not good. So yeah, Juice has only 1 unit left now. 1 unit. Meanwhile, over here, big melee engagement. The Old Guard. 34 men and still aren't breaking. Oh, this one's at 42. Okay, it looks like the Old Guard did manage to break there. So good job by the French player. But look at this, a cav charge from the enemy now is going to be charging in. This is going to be devastating. I don't think he can form square. No, he can't. These guys are just going to get mowed over. He's actually going to follow through his charge into the general's staff. Over here we got some Prussian Fusiliers up against the Polish Legion, which is facing the wrong direction. No, that's friendly unit. Man, I'm getting confused. Okay, so it looks like the enemy French player only has 2 units left. That's a Swiss foot unit and some Chasseurs. Over here on the right flank though, the British are not going to engage, but they're facing some tough competition. You see the Old Guard really doing a lot of damage to their morale right now. You see they're breaking. There goes 1 unit. The Fencibles are about to break 2, as well as the 88th foot. Now we have the 18th Regiment up against some foot infantry. So, my opinion is, or what I think is going to happen is the French are just going to slaughter this line from the British. They just don't have the elite troops, especially with this Polish Legion that's coming in to help assist this defense as well. Good volleys. So this flank is pretty much gone. They really don't have that many troops. But like I said, the French player doesn't have that many troops left. And you see he only has 1 Fusilier unit protecting his flank up against, 5 other British units. So he's going to get some good shots in, but look at this. It's the Coldstream Guard. These guys are so elite. And they're going to be charging into these Fusiliers. This is going to really, really hurt. Numbers dropping down very quickly. These Fusiliers are in some trouble right now. But luckily, he did manage to win that engagement, like I said. Doesn't have that many units to counter, so he's going to send over the rest of his force here, consisting of some foot guards, some fencibles, some more foot, and the King's German Legion, as well as his general. Where is the French general? Where is he? I don't think he died. Maybe he routed from the battlefield, who knows. So they're going to reposition once more. It is an extremely close game, but it looks like the Allies are favored just by a little bit, but things are still very, very even. So we will see how this goes. Very, very close game right now. Oh no, looks like the Old Guard are actually out of ammunition right now. and they're going to be charging in. So they're going to take some massive losses from the British just because they're going to be charging in, and these shots are really gonna hurt. But luckily for the French player, the enemy's actually only targeting one old guard unit. So if this old guard unit breaks, this other unit's going to be very healthy when it gets into combat. But I don't think these guys are gonna break. They might. I'm not too sure. No, they will not. Those old guard, their morale's going to go up, I believe. No, it's gonna stay down. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like, wow, the Polish Legion actually did break. Not good. They should be coming back though with 56 men. Over here, Old Guard actually broke that one unit, but it's going to get a cavalry charge by the general himself into the Old Guard, bringing down the morale. That Old Guard unit broke actually, and look at this. We got the 18th Regiment up against some Fencibles. The 18th Regiment's going to easily win this engagement. Fencibles at 53, the 18th at 108. Okay, so over here, the Old Guard are actually going to be engaging some Foot Guards as well as a general unit. But this general is actually going to continue his charge into the 18th Regiment. Looks like a fake charge right here, forcing these 18th Regiment or the 18th Regiment into square. Over here we have the Polish Legion up against some Coldstream Guard. Wow. Okay, so the Polish Legion actually did lose that engagement, or sorry, the Coldstream Guard lost that engagement. Very surprised there. I guess the Coldstream just had too few men. But look at this. All that remains from the enemy is the general himself. So it's pretty obvious who's going to win this engagement, but what a close battle. I mean, 3 units left that are very depleted too. So the Old Guard are going to finish this game off with a final charge into the general. You see the morale's getting pretty bad right there. 14 guys up against 56. It's pretty obvious who's going to win this engagement. And there goes the general. And look at that. So I guess the only general that survived this engagement was actually the French general himself that I guess just routed off the battlefield. So taking a look at the stats, wow. Okay, so the French player doing a very good job with 1,800 kills. Juice doing also an excellent job with 1,700 kills. Enemy French player not doing a very good job with 900 kills. And then look at this. The enemy British player with 2,300 kills. That is insane. Let's take a look at the unit statistics. Foot Guards on top. Kind of surprised by that, but they did get a pretty decent amount of kills with 216 and 140 losses. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle. I'm thinking of doing a giveaway shortly. Not going to tell the games or what they're going to be, but shortly I think I'm going to be doing another giveaway. I'm actually going to be setting up a Patreon account to help fund those giveaways and hopefully get you guys the games that you guys want. I did get a new mic and keyboard, so hopefully the quality is better. You can't really hear the clicking as much on the keyboard. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of updates. So yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later.